From the National Weather Service in Raleigh, it's Nick Petro with your routine Thursday weekly briefing for Central North Carolina. This briefing covers the period today through about roughly next Wednesday, around the 10th of February. So we're looking about a week in advance. And as I like to do, I like to start off with current conditions. And here's a loop, and you could see, the rain that's over the mid-Mississippi Valley is kind of advancing eastward. There's a little bit of snow on the northern edge of that rain shield, and you'll also see a couple things. Let me pause this for a moment here, and you'll see. Look at this division between the colder air west and warmer air east of the line. This division, this boundary, is called a cold front. And you can see another boundary. There's cold air over the Ohio Valley and warm air over the lower Mississippi Valley. And there's sort of a dividing point kind of right in here. And that boundary is called a warm front. So that complex and that system will continue to track eastward and with that cold front over the next day or so. I don't think, doesn't appear as though we're going to get into readings quite this cold. That cold air is going to be, that degree of cold air is going to be blocked by the mountains. Remember, we have a mountain range right here, and cold air likes to hug the ground. So when cold air hits the mountains, that kind of slows its progress. And oftentimes the way cold air gets to us is the scenic route. Cold air builds to our north and then bleeds down the east side of the mountain. So oftentimes we have to wait till the cold air gets to us kind of in a roundabout way. Thanks to the mountains to our west. So anyway, that's what's going on. A little closer to home, you could see, we've got temperatures well above freezing here, so there's no risk of any snow for us with this system. We've got temperatures well up into the 40s. And for today, quite frankly, there's a lot of sun over the northern coastal plain and the northern Piedmont. And so today, for the rest of the daytime hours, this rain's still about another 8 to 10 hours away. So basically, we're for the rest of the daylight hours today, we're looking at a sort of a mix of clouds and sunshine with temps climbing through the 40s. So it should be a decent day. All right. So anyway, let's go ahead to the slides, and we'll take a look at the weather pattern here. And as I pointed out, that cold front is advancing eastward, and here's that front right here on the map. And this represents tonight and Friday. And notice the green shading underneath. That's the rain area that I mentioned. So, but in the meantime, high pressure will provide fair weather today. Then the cold front will sweep across the Carolinas tonight and Friday. This will result in some light rain. It's warm enough for rain. So let me highlight the word rain for the area beginning tonight and ending by midday Friday. And then colder air will attempt to move into our area behind that front, but the mountains to our west will slow its progress. So that's kind of good news. Why is that good news? Because on Saturday, there's going to be an area of low pressure moving north along this old front. Okay, so as low pressure moves north along that boundary, it's going to spread some rain back to the west. Okay, and if we did have enough cold air, then that would be snow. But it looks like it's going to be warm enough for most of central North Carolina on Saturday to have rain. The exception could be the typical colder counties north near the Virginia border, okay, and the Triad area. So if you're along the Virginia border, or if you're in the Triad area, you'll have the best chance to see a rain or snow mixed. And again, this is on late Saturday night, and Sunday, okay? So you'll definitely want to stay tuned as we bring updates through the next day or two. But again, this system will spring rain and possibly some snow on the northwest side of the precip area. This will be Saturday, late Saturday, and on Sunday. So again, which areas have the best chance for snow late Saturday and Sunday? We're talking counties north along the Virginia border and out in the Triad area. Okay? So stay tuned for that. Now, after that, we're looking at dry and cool weather for early next week, because eventually the high will build to our north, and that cold air will eventually bleed down on the east side of the mountains. So we're looking for, but it'll be dry at that point in time. So cool weather for early next week. And then we're watching this area of low pressure here off the coast because sure enough, it looks like another wave of low pressure will move northeast along that boundary come the middle of next week. And at that point in time, there's lots of uncertainty regarding how much cold air will be in place. So that could give us another chance. Well, of course, it'll give us another chance for precip, but right now we're still uncertain as to whether or not the middle to latter part of next week, that system's going to bring us rain or snow. It could go either way. It just depends on how quickly this reinforcing cold air can move east and come down from the north. Okay, so there's a lot of features at play here. Okay, so odds favor that a very cold air mass will overspread the eastern half of the country by late next week, thanks to this big area of Arctic high pressure. Okay, so the question then is, if the cold air is delayed, then when this system moves up in the middle of next week, it'll be rain. But if we could time the cold air in concert with the low pressure, then that gives us a better chance for snow. So you see what's going on here? We got to properly align the timing of the moisture with the timing of the cold air. Okay, so it's a timing game here, but it could go either way. So stay tuned. So anyway, that's the way things are shaping up for middle of next week. All right. When we look at liquid equivalents or rain amounts, so the today and Friday in the upper left, that actually should be tonight, because the green you see there painted across North Carolina, that'll fall tonight. And then Friday, the front will be pushing off the coast, so that's why you see the heavier rain offshore. And then on Saturday and into Sunday, we're looking at that area of low pressure, as I mentioned, lifting northeast along the coast. And as I pointed out, it's mostly rain for central North Carolina, although the Virginia border counties, I should say, and the Triad, that could be a little snow mixing in there. Again, we'll bring you updates as we head through the next couple days. And then we're looking at that next batch of liquid moisture, and whether it falls as rain or snow, there's still a lot of uncertainty for the middle of next week. All right, so for each of these events, whether it's tonight into Friday or whether it's Saturday night into Sunday, that those liquid amounts should be under an inch. Okay, so nothing too terribly heavy at the moment. All right. So as we look at the risk for flash flooding, we don't see that there's enough rain to cause any risk of flash flooding in the next 3 days. So that's good news. And it's just simply too cool for thunderstorms. So no thunderstorms the next 3 days. All right. And I kind of mentioned this earlier, but the 8 to 14 day outlook from the Climate Prediction Center does show that Arctic air mass moving east as we head into late next week and over next weekend. So see the dates there, February 11th through February 17th. So that would be late next week through the weekend. So it looks like an Arctic air mass is poised to move into our area. The good news is it looks like the one opportunity there could be for wintry weather would be at the onset of that cold air, which we're talking, Wednesday into Thursday. Now, again, does the cold air get here in time? That's the question. So we'll be keeping our eyes on that. But once that low exits, we should go back to a sort of a drier period, cold but dry. So that's why the 8 to 14 days shows below normal favored for the eastern U.S. All right. So again, it's all a game of aligning the cold air with the timing of the moisture. All right, so kind of button this all up and wrap it up into a summary. Again, high pressure will provide fair weather today. The cold front will sweep across the Carolinas tonight and Friday. This will result in some light rain for the area beginning tonight and ending by midday Friday. Again, underscoring the word rain. If you're in the mountains out in the Western Carolinas, in the mountains at the highest elevations, there could be some snow. But for us here in Central North Carolina, it's a rain event. Okay, colder air will attempt to move into our area behind Friday's front, but the mountains will slow its eastward progress. So then, why is that important? Because an area of low pressure will move to the north, will move northeastward along the southeast coast late on Saturday and on Sunday, and this system will spread rain and possibly some snow on the northwest side of the precip area during that time. Now, the typical colder counties near the VA border, Virginia border, and areas in the Triad and northwest Piedmont will have the best chance to see a rain-snow mix or maybe even snow. So again, everybody's urged to stay tuned. Dry and cool weather for early next week, and then another area low pressure moving along the coast will give us another chance for rain or snow during the middle or latter half of next week. Lots of uncertainty with that system. So again, just want to remind folks. And of course, we'll be doing email updates over the course of the next few days, PowerPoint briefings, of course, as the need arises. And obviously, Monday we'll have our next regularly scheduled webinar just like this, the Monday morning briefing at 11:30. So during that Monday morning briefing, we will focus heavily on that system for the middle to latter part of next week. Okay. Odds favor that a very cold air mass will overspread the eastern half of the country by late next week. And there may, and I always like to italicize the word may, because there's never any guarantees with weather. So there's always that's why we look at it probabilistically. But there may be some opportunities over the course of the next week or two for some wintry precip if the timing of the moisture can properly align with episodes of cold air. While overall confidence is low given the timing challenges, residents across central North Carolina should pay close attention to forecast updates during this time. So, we always say in winter weather that when it comes to winter weather that we need the cold air first. So anytime a cold air mass moves into North Carolina, like is poised to do late next week, then it's like, okay, where's the moisture? Is there moisture? Is there an opportunity for some moisture to come up here and interact with that cold air? So that's why I wanted to include that last paragraph there on the right side. Okay, so the cold air will be here, but will the moisture come? So we'll see. And then will they align? So anyway, that is this Thursday's edition of the weekly briefing for Central North Carolina.